Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Wednesday, April 15th, tax day. If you're here in the United States, get that stuff done. Let's take a look at what's going on here for economic data this morning. Trump was speaking this morning, huh? Let's see. Kind of very happy that I'm permanently opening up the Straits of Hormuz. I'm doing it. So that's, the markets are sustaining itself. Nice, good rally that we had yesterday. We'll go over those numbers in a second here. Let's just take a look at this data that's coming out here. State manufacturing index 11.0 versus 0.3. Not sure how that's going to impact things. Probably, I'm going to say not sure how that, maybe negative way. Level of diffusion index on the surveyed manufacturer of New York. Actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. So that may rally things. It may rally the dollar and also oil levels. So we'll take a look at things and see how that impacts things. But let's see if there's any more data for today. Housing, some housing numbers coming out at 9 o'clock. And then some crude oil inventories at 9:30. And then what else do we have for today? Nothing for today. And then Thursday, Philly Fed manufacturing unemployment claims at 7:30. This is before the market opens. Some Fed speak at 7:35. Friday, light schedule, some Fed speak. Housing starts in Canada. That's not going to impact us. And then some more Fed speak. 10:30 and 1 o'clock. So I don't think anything's going to impact things too much there. As far as earnings, take a look at the earnings report today, Wednesday, JB Hunt after the close. I don't see anything else there. One thing we talked about earlier in the week, Netflix after the close tomorrow. We have a bunch of banks, some insurance companies, Travelers before they open, and Abbott Labs before they open tomorrow. And then nothing else on Friday. So pretty light week for the remainder of the week on the earnings side. So let's get into the futures and our routine. Actually, we'll start off with the oil markets as we're focusing on everything that's happening in Iran right now. Before I go, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video, and then go down in the description to join our Discord community for as we build our trading community. Currently, we're doing live trading from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time, and what we focus on is Tesla options, and then I answer any other questions that anybody has. So that being said, also, if you want me to cover some other stocks other than what I do every day, just drop a comment down below, and I'll be glad to cover it. However, I do not cover any penny stocks. So let's look at, right now we're looking at Brent crude right now below $100 a barrel. That's not bad. It's good. We're caught, right in between the 20-day moving average at $103 a barrel and $88.32 a barrel. So just kind of hovering here. Everybody's, the ceasefire is still holding up. That's good news. So we're hoping that's going to sustain itself. So while we're in the week, trading week, people can react. The problem that comes into play is everything that happens over the weekend, because people can't react until Monday. And that's when you have your big gap downs and big gap ups, right? These big gap ups and downs that typically close, right? So let's take a look at crude. Crude is what impacts us here in the United States. For those of you that live here in the States, below $100 a barrel, not bad. I think our new norm is going to be close to this area. Again, same thing, stuck in between the 20 and the 50. 20-day moving average is $98.38, and the 50s at $83.41. So, not bad. It's hovering right here. So everybody's kind of sitting on their hands waiting for this, see if this peace treaty can actually be jotted down and make it a long-term deal. So let's get into the VIX. VIX also just trying to, toying around with this 200-day moving average, $18.23. Great move down. That's good for equities. It means the equities are rallying pretty good. Got a little gap down here in this area here, so I wouldn't be surprised if the VIX elevates a little bit today, fills this area here. I can mark this, but it's probably be a waste of time because It's a good chance this will probably get filled today, but we'll see what happens with the elevation here. And I'd like to lighten that up just a tad. So we do have some open gaps, some gap downs from earlier also up here at this. Actually, we've got a couple. Here's a gap down here from the 8th of April, $25.74. So that's quite a bit higher than us. That means that if the VIX does rally, that means equities are headed south. And then also we have another gap that's open here from the 30th of March at $30.34. So if the VIX does elevate another $12, that means stocks are pulling back, which stocks are elevated right now. And one thing you pay attention to, we're going to cover in a minute. Let's actually get to it right now. The ES has rallied 500 points since April started. So about 10%. It's been rallying about a percent per day for the last 10 days. So we're at 7,018, not quite at new highs here. So we're on the ES right now. Looking at a 15-minute chart, pre-market 7,018 right now. Here's a regressional trend line here that I've got. It's a 4-year trend line that I've got here from October of 2022. It comes in line, all-time high, 7,044. Pushing that direction right now. We have an open point of control here from the 13th, from this week at 68.57.77. Wouldn't be surprised if you get a little pop in the morning, maybe a little fade, and things sell off a little bit. So some back end filling comes down here. We've got a couple levels here that if you lose, first level down here, 69.91.50. If you lose that, I like the first level to come down to is 69.96.30. It's December 5th weekly high. So you like those break and retest to come down to test those levels here. So that's the first line here. If you do lose that 69.91.50, come down to that 69.68. Let me read that again. Excuse me, 69.63. So if you lose 69.91, 69.63 is your first level there. If you lose that, I've got another level coming down here at 69.20.25. And if you lose that, you come down, you fill this open point of control at 68.57.77. Does that happen all in one day? No, it could, but right now we are above. We're very elevated above the moving averages. The 20 is way down at 66.88. The 200 is 67.06. The 50 at 67.87, and the 100 is sitting at 68.42. When you get elevated above these moving averages, the market likes to come back down a little bit and test these levels. So when you get elevated here, it's extended. Right now, it's still a little room for the upside here, it looks like, but I would be cautious a little bit. But I think the trend is your friend right now. So until it shows you something different, but if you could look at the daily here, here's the daily chart. You can see we're pretty extended here on your relative strength index, really, really up here at these high levels, and it comes in right at this regressional trend line here. So I would be cautious that might get a little pullback here. However, it doesn't mean the rally's over. It just means that there could be some good buying opportunities. So my thesis is definitely be buying the dips, right? So of course, unless there's any kind of earth-shattering news that comes out, so you got to be careful on that. So that being said, let's get over into the SPY. SPY is going to be a very similar chart as the Qs. And same thing, if we lose this 693.04, we come down to this high at 691.66, which is a December monthly high. So I like the monthly highs. They have a little more validity than a weekly high or a daily high. And then if you lose that, you've got 689.70, which is an October monthly high. And then below that, you've got a close that the close was from what was this close? This was from the 13th. So this was a Monday close down here. And then we had that open point of control down here as well at 682.26. On the upside here, we could push into these all-time highs at 697.75. And again, I've got a regressional trend line here from a 4-year line from October 13th, sitting at 699.72. Above that, uncharted territory. So we'll have to see what happens if we get that upside. So let's get over the NASDAQ. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and like this video. And same thing on the NASDAQ. We've got these open point of controls down below. So I like the housekeeping part of the aspect of the markets. So I like us to come down and close these certain gaps. So here we've got an open point of control that's open from August 2025. I left that on the charts here as well. So we've got, we're approaching, I've also got this midline regressional trend line sitting here 4-year trend line, midline at 26,219.80, and this is from October of 2022. So, and this comes right in at the higher end regressional trend line from August of 2025. So, a lot of confirmation at that level there. So I don't mind this level here. If you get a little pop here, get a little resistance. You've got your all-time highs sitting up above that 26,399. If you pop up there, I would say that you potentially get the a little resistance off of that. So I think that I wouldn't mind seeing a little pullback. If you get pullback, I think that would be a good opportunity for looking for some longs here, right? So anyway, so looking at the NASDAQ here, we're definitely going to be, it looks like it definitely could be some consolidation happening right now. So I would watch these levels here. Again, if you do break through this these levels right here, this mid 26,213.68, you pop up to that 26,399 level, right? So let's get over to the Qs, and then when we're done with the Qs, we'll get over to Tesla. Hey, good morning. And yeah, we haven't covered Tesla yet. I know about that point of control there. So on the Qs, same thing on the Qs. 413, this high here, 626.74. It's respecting it in the pre-market right now. So if you lose that level, then I think that you come down here to this 617.52 level. And then, of course, we have another open point of control down here at 614.31 level that I would like to see that get filled. If you do get that push in the morning and you pop through that 629.21 level, you're going to come up to this midline regressional trend line here that I have here. This from October of 2022, sitting at 634.18. And then above that, you've got the all-time high sitting at 637. Excuse me, a previous all-time high sitting at 637.01. And then if you bust through that, then you get through that to that 643.76, which is the all-time high on the upside there. So downside today, you got to hold that 626.74 in order to continue to get that upside. If you lose that, I think you can definitely get some rapid downside back down to the 617.52. However, getting some good strength on the upside right now. So it's all, you got to have your finger on the pulse when it comes to the news, right? So watch your news and keep things light. Keep some dry powder if the market pulls back as well. So that being said, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and like this video. Tesla, we had some great levels yesterday on Tesla. We said if we got up into this level here, you were going to get some rejection. I took advantage of those levels. I also said that if you got above certain levels, you were going to get some good push, and you were going to fill this speed zone here. So we were talking about this speed zone for the last couple days, right? And unfortunately, you filled a lot of it during the pre-market here. However, you got the last push, push to fill this whole speed zone when the market opened up. So we had a certain level up here. I think it was once we got above this 359.42 level, and it was a little jumpy in the morning, and then you got that final push that gave you that nice little surge, and we got up into this level here that we spoke about, that you were going to get some rejection. Now for today, we are in this resistance area zone. However, we are holding it, and we are right at this 20-day moving average. So I would be cautious here. If you do get that pop and you can get that push on Tesla, we have an open gap here. It's been sitting here. It's a wide gap here. It's been a gap down since the beginning of the month, and it's sitting here at 378.60. 378.60. So if you do get that purge and you can get a hold above this 368.01, I don't mind that first initial push into the 373.33, and then eventually push into that 378.60. And then even up into this level here, this regressional trend line here that I have from June of 2019, sitting at 380.56, and then above that, the 381.48 level, right? So that's on the upside push. Now on the downside push, we do have some levels, as Yen was speaking about, that 337. Actually, it's a 333.78 point of control level that we still have open from September of last year, right? So we talk about the point of controls, and I have a point of control chart here that we talk about here. So we have levels. This is the last one that I have open from on the downside here. All these point of controls that we had down here, they all got hit and filled, and I took them off the charts now. So you can see there's one here that's filled, this 365.83, that was filled from September. I left that on the chart because it was showing me some good resistance in the level, and so I'm still leaving it here. So you can see this point of control was on my chart since actually, yeah, this was originally on the chart in September of last year, and then it came back down and filled in March. Okay, so you can see how long these point of controls sometimes it takes to get to fill them, right? And what I mean by fill is when the market comes back down and tests the level. So now, right now, we're flirting with this 20-day moving average. Now, the one thing is, even though we have this open point of control down here at 334.07, we have some open point of controls above us that are still open here. So we have an open point of control of 388.90 that's been open since 25th of March. Above that, we've got a 397.89 that's been open since March 18th, and this is all from last year. Now, this is a pretty good level right here. If you pop up here, you're going to get some resistance at some point, because that's right in line with the 200-day moving average at 397.87. Okay, and then above that, you've got the 100, and all I'm doing is showing you the point of controls right now. Above that, you've got a 455.12, and the last one that we have open is 478.39, and this is from December 26th of 2025. So that's the good news. You've got a lot of open point of controls on the upside. However, we still have this housekeeping down below. I would have been very happy if we had filled it down here. Now, does this mean that it always fills? No, but in my years of trading, I've seen these fill time and time again. Have I seen them not fill? Sure. So there's a chance that maybe this doesn't fill, but I leave it on the charts until either it doesn't fill. It's not hurting me by leaving it there, right? So I leave it there, and then if the market starts targeting back down there, I know that that's going to be a level that there should be a little action once we get to that level. So right now, Tesla's trading in this little range right here, so you're going to have to watch these volumes. I would say a level to watch for today on the downside, I would watch this pre-market low that we have here sitting at, I would say 364.21. If you lose that level, actually, let me get back to my trading chart. It's a little better. This 364.46, it's a weekly low. There's been a lot of response to this level. You can see all the way back here on March 8th. You can see the rejection at this level, and now we popped above it, and now we are holding above this level. So I like this 364.46 level. So if you do get some pullback, I would use this level again. You can see how it's responding. So now, that being said, if you lose that level, then I think that you could get some downside here. This is a gap up level that I have here. I'm going to actually take this off, remove, get rid of that, remove the drawing. So yeah, so so if you do lose this 364.46 level today, this regressional trend line that's coming in here is sitting here since the high of the all-time high from Tesla from December 26th of 2025, right? So this is a good level. You can see how it's responding right off of that level on pre-market. So it's showing me if the market pulls back, I like this level to maybe take another long off this level. That being said, if you lose this level, then you're going to have to look down to your other levels of, your filled level of support down here at 360, what is that sitting at? 363.08. And then if you lose that, I think you're going to quickly lose this entire move here. Come back down to this 359.42 level of your for a low that was on the beginning of the month. And then if you lose that, then 355.87 is your next line of support. That was the September high of last year. Now, does this all happen in a day? Well, we all have seen Tesla. Tesla can move $20 in a day. So be prepared. Watch the news. Keep your stuff light. We are hovering below this 20-day moving average. You can see it's sitting here. I would say it's sitting here today at 367.33. So if you do get above that 20-day moving average, you can use that as a level of support and be aggressive there and just keep it light, right? So let me just get rid of this line here. I do not like that. Actually, no, that's not a bad line there. So this line, this level that I've got here at 368.01, that's a pretty big level here. It's a fair value gap, and it's also a monthly high from May of last year. So if you get above this 368.01 level, I like us to continue to push, and I think Tesla could really rip. So that's a big level to watch for today as well. So that being said, let's get over and see what we're going to trade for today, and then we will close this up for today. So I'm going to start the day. So Tesla's at 367. So we closed here. Here was a closed at 364.20 yesterday. So I've got the 365 calls expiring today. I'm going to start out probably the first half hour of the day trading today's expiration date, and then I'm probably going to switch quickly to Friday's expiration date of April 17th to give myself a couple days of the premium, so I can buy myself a couple more days of theta. You know, those of you that don't understand theta, it's time decay on your premium, so they don't. So you know, if you get a wiki type candle, meaning the candle like pops up and down, your premium doesn't get whacked so quickly, right? So I still am going to start with today's expiration probably for the first half hour of the day, and then probably switch. I'll see how volatile these premiums are. But that being said, so we are about $3 higher. I'm probably going to, you know what, I'm going to see if there should be a 367.50. Yeah, so I'm going to start at the 367.50 calls expiring today. So probably going to be opening up right around there. So this will probably open up right in the high twos, possibly in the $3 range. And then I am actually going to do the same thing on the puts. Same price. And it's easy to change. So you can see right here, this was at it closed at $5.10 on the premium. But right now, if the market would open right now, it's $3 higher. So I anticipate these premiums are going to open up pretty similar to where they are, to one another. High twos, maybe low threes. So that's what we're going to start with right there. I'm going to keep the lot size light on the 0-day expiration, which is today. If we go over our 5-minute opening range trade yesterday. So what I was talking about in the trading room yesterday, what had happened to me yesterday, I got like a deer in headlights yesterday. And why? Yesterday was a great trading day. Why? Look at these candles. Aside from the first 5 minutes, you had good, solid candles. When it found its direction, we're looking at a 5-minute chart. When it found its direction on the candles, you could take that direction. Right? You hop on the train, you take your trade. And what I mean by that, so if I think the market's going down, for those of you that are new, I don't sell short puts or sell short calls. If I think the market's going down, I buy puts, meaning I'll buy this premium, and if the market goes down, this premium price will go up on the puts, right? If the market's going down. If I think the market's going up, I'll buy the premium on the call, and this premium price will go up. And for every one lot I buy, this premium price will go up in increments of, typically I'll buy in the $3 range, so it goes up 5 cents at a time. So for every one lot, it moves $5 at a time, right? So if you do your numbers on it, and for every $1 typically that this equity price moves, your premium price will move 50 cents, right? So if it moves $1 and you bought a one lot, you make $50. That's pretty much basic 101 of the stuff. So that being said, getting back to yesterday, these candles were great trading candles. So if you saw the direction that you wanted to take your trade off your levels, you hopped on board the train and you made a few, 20, 30 cents on your premium you got out of your trades, right? Now, the reason why I was gun shy yesterday, once we got this initial beautiful break, was because of Friday. Because Friday made me think that we were going to have the same type of day. And here was Friday's morning, okay? Let me see if this is Friday's morning, if I'm looking at the correct. So I don't think this is Friday's morning. This is not Friday's morning. Because those candles look good. So here was Friday's morning. So this was Friday. So yesterday, this was Friday's morning right here. This wickiness right here scared me not scared me, but prevented me from making money on this, right? This is a beautiful trading day because I thought that we were going to have a very similar day, trading day. That's up, down, up, down, up, down. So what does that tell you? Every trading day is different. You're going to have the volume. You got to watch your volumes. Pay attention to what kind of volume you have on the opening trade. I should have known on this day, we only had 1.8 million shares traded versus this day when we had, actually this day was not great either. It was 1.5 million shares traded. But on this purge here, you had more volume than you did on the opening trade. So that right there should have told me that it was going to be a good trading day. And the same thing on yesterday. I think yesterday you had some pretty decent volume. Yeah, yesterday you had 2.7 million shares traded, almost a million more shares traded than the previous day. So right there on your first 5 minutes, you should be able to identify what kind of day it's going to be. So that being said, you got, every day is going to be different and you got to watch your levels. So going into today, this is what I'm going to start with. 367.50 puts, 367 calls. 367.50 calls, all expiring for today. I'll probably switch to Friday's expiration days after the first half hour, 45 minutes. But in order to find that out, go down in the description, click on the Discord, come into the trading room from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time. We're still doing live trading on Tesla options, and it is currently still for free. If you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and like this video. If I don't see you in the trading room, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for the pre-market analysis.